Kingdom Hall.
Hi, I just had a question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Okay.
Do you have a minute?
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I met Jehovah's Witnesses lately. I mean, I have a couple friends who are also Jehovah's Witnesses, but anyways, they told me about the website, JW.org. And
JW.org, yes.
yeah, so I've been reading some of the stuff in there, and they have these like videos where their leaders are talking to teach or talk about the organization, and they said on there that they're not, they're imperfect and not inspired. Did you see that one?
I don't believe so right now. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. It was a while ago.
Okay. It was a video that said what?
Well, the governing body, I guess that's what they're called, are imperfect and not inspired.
Yes, we're all imperfect.
Oh, right. Well,
right. So we're all imperfect. Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is that the people I know, like the way they talk about them and the way they regard them is as though they're inspired, almost like they're a channel of God or something like that, which would mean you'd have to be inspired.
Well,
why do you all treat them like that? They're treated very differently than like just say a Sunday school teacher or a pastor. They don't insist on that degree of like trust, and I don't know, like they could change something one day and then everybody will suddenly believe the new thing. I'm amazed by that. So the level of whoever they are is extremely high. And then to say, we're just imperfect and, not inspired. Like, it's very confusing. It's like kind of like, it doesn't really make sense to me. And then I found this quote that the Watchtower said in their magazine that says, you may wisely decide against putting your trust in imperfect men and their fallible predictions and promises, which is kind of an ironic thing for it to say in the Watchtower.
The fact is that they are imperfect, but they do have Holy Spirit, and
because they say they do, I guess. I don't know what. I mean, anybody could say that. That's not. You're saying that. And here it says in the Watchtower, don't put your trust in imperfect men. And yet on that little program, they're saying that Jehovah trusts them, and you should too.
Right.
So how does that all fit together?
We also put our trust in the Bible the way it's presented to us in that, and they're just a channel. From
channel?
Jehovah God. Yeah, like Jehovah God. You think that's strange?
Well, channeling is kind of an occultic term. I've never heard a Christian say channel.
A channel? Well, I should say
like channeling. Wow. Do they channel?
No.
What do they channel?
I mean, they don't interpret anything. They read
don't?
the Bible scriptures. They read the Bible.
Wait a minute.
They talk.
If I had a piece of paper with just Bible verses, that would be something that doesn't interpret anything. Of course they interpret the Bible. They say they do. Why are you saying they don't interpret anything? As a matter of fact, they've changed many of their interpretations.
Okay, they've changed them because they've examined it more and more and more and more in deeper things, and they've changed their view on things. Yes.
Oh, but they said it's from Jehovah. They call it meat in due season from Jehovah. And at that time, that's what they also said. They didn't say, well, this is just contingent.
One sec, I got to let somebody in the door. Excuse me one second, I let somebody in the door. Yeah. I'll be right back. 1 second, okay? Just hold on, okay?
Sure.
You there?
Sure.
I'd open the door.
Okay. No problem.
If you know what the questions are. Body receive their information.
Hello?
Hi. Are you back?
I'm the brother that answered the phone was our attendant, and he was watching the parking lot and so on. So he asked me to come back and chat with you a bit.
Oh, okay.
My name is Steve.
Hi, I'm Christine. Yeah, I was just wondering. Well, I guess I have to start all over again, but I know some witnesses, and I heard about the website and things like that, and so I watched a few of those videos where those guys talk. I guess it's your leaders or whatever. He said they're channels, so I mean, I thought that was an interesting term, anyways, but I never heard Christians really use the term channeling, channel of God.
Oh, we don't. There's no channeling, no.
Well, what does a channel do? That's kind of related to that. It's a very strange term. It's not Christian. It's very associated actually with the occult, but
exactly. Believe me, we don't do any channeling.
Well, why do they call themselves a channel? What do they channel? A channel is just the noun. It's a noun form of channeling. Like I'm channeling. It's just the same word. But anyways, well, I noticed.
I'll just say just on that comment there. If, of course, I'm not hearing it entirely in context, but you can, for example, you can be a channel for educating your children.
I've never heard it used in a religious context except related to the occult. But anyways,
yeah, but a channel is just a, and I'm staying away from the occult because we want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But a channel is just a vehicle or a means to pass information on.
Where do they get the information?
Or from the scriptures.
Oh.
We totally believe 100% that the Bible is the Word of God.
Oh.
And we go
well, then why do you need a channel? I mean, I can read the Bible too. It's just, anyways, but what I wanted to ask about was, I watched a couple of these like programs, and on one of them they said they're not inspired or and they're imperfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Only the Bible's inspired.
Yeah, although they seem to. And then in another place in this program, they said that their information and their interpretations come from Jehovah to Jesus to them. So that's claiming very much inspiration. What else would you call that? Like, I don't get any info from Jesus, do you? It's like Jehovah to Jesus to you. So that is an inspiration claim without using the word inspired.
No, it isn't. They absolutely are not inspired.
What did they mean by from Jehovah to Jesus to them? How do they hear? Like, how do they?
Well, of course, I'm not knowing the context of what you heard, but
it's very clear. It was a German guy. I forgot his name, but anyways,
but trust me, they're not inspired. They don't claim to be inspired. I guarantee that. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, but I guess you could say you're not inspired, but then use like a lot of different words that kind of mean the same thing. Like The Watchtower is edited by Jehovah, like one of their leaders said that. Now that wasn't recent, but he's a very important leader who wrote a lot of their books. He said Jehovah is the editor of the Watchtower, which is kind of funny. But anyways, what I wanted to ask about was that since they're imperfect men, like I noticed that the people, at least the ones I know, they treat them like they're like a prophet or something, you know? Like it's very different than a Sunday school teacher or pastor. We don't do that. Like if they said tomorrow something different, that we wouldn't all just say, oh, okay, now we all believe that, like 8 million people. They have 8 million people like in their sway so automatically. So I don't get the thing how you could not be inspired and yet everybody follows you like as though you are, you know?
Now, I assure you, they're not inspired. They don't claim to be inspired. Now, can I ask your background?
Oh, well, I've just got a traditional Christian background, and then I wanted to ask about one more thing about.
Are you Catholic?
No. I fellowship with other Christians at Calvary Chapel, but I'm not into like denominationalism. I like to focus on Christ. But anyways, I wanted to ask one more thing about imperfect men. Another thing I saw on that broadcast that I found like startling as just a traditional Christian, a follower of Jesus, is that he said that you really need to trust them. The 8 men, right? He said that Jehovah trusts them. I'm just wondering like kind of how he knows that. And it's not Christian. I mean, most Christians talk about really that we trust God. Like, would I say God trusts me, like, or my pastor? Like, no, we don't. I never heard anybody talk in those terms. And then second of all, it says here, this is a quote I found in the Watchtower. It says, you may wisely decide against putting your trust in imperfect men and their fallible predictions and promises. That's right from the Watchtower. So he's saying they're imperfect, but you need to trust them. Jehovah trusts them. And then here it says, don't trust imperfect men. So just wondering how both could be true.
What was the reason for your call today?
To ask about imperfect men and inspired and who these men are.
Is that? Do you have an interest in studying with Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh,
or
no.
one?
Oh, my goodness. I would never join anything like that. I just wonder why you guys, how do you reconcile that?
So
they're always advertising in my community. So, yes, I am concerned about it.
Your phone call today was really to question and challenge us.
Oh, absolutely. Do you have an explanation for that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're happy to talk with people. But if someone is going to just pick and choose quotes here and there out of context,
it's not out of context.
Discussion.
It's not.
I don't know the context.
I can give you the reference. I can give you the reference. You can look it up.
No, I don't see any sincerity in those questions.
You just use ad hominem. You're just deflecting because you can't think of anything right offhand how to answer that. So you're calling me names.
Well, obviously your motives.
Ooh, do you read
are
hearts?
Not genuine. No, but I read questions.
Oh, you do. That's amazing.
Well, is there anything else you want to discuss?
Oh no! Did you see that program on Saturday night in Canada? It's on YouTube. You can watch it. Did you hear about it?
So really, this is more than just challenging questions.
Well, you asked me if there's anything else I wanted to ask about.
You're trying to attack our faith.
Oh, no. The Watchtower would never attack anybody else's faith, would they? Their magazine is filled with that, calling other people satanic
you're not answering my question.
Babylon the Great. I don't think you have any position to even talk about that, you know?
Yeah.
I
can see that it's
a big part of the history of the Watchtower. Anyways, the program
is really going nowhere.
The program was on...
I would recommend...
You're not interested in a whole program they did on Jehovah's Witnesses in Canada?
I am not interested.
You should be, because it's a very popular program. You should know what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What?
I need to get back and
Okay.
listen to my meeting. So
Okay.
please
Thanks.
excuse me.
Thanks for talking.
Bye.
God bless.